What's up, Internet? I am Volchek, and together we're gonna make local economy great again. Now listen up, I am super excited to announce my first ever YouTube show. Yes, that's right. It took me such a long time to launch my own show. It is where I sit down with local business owner, and together with my audience we discover what this business is all about. We get to hear the story behind the business, how it got discovered, how it got started, what the business does, some lessons that these owners have drawn from running their own business, and properly so, I call this show About Me. Stay tuned and let's make local economy great again. Whoa! All you have to do is just stay tuned, man, and watch the show. For my first episode, I sit down with Nicole from Dream Dinners in Sunrise, Florida. It's a meal prep kitchen that helps people save time around dinner time. Brilliant. So let's find out how Nicole got into it and what she has learned from running her business. So without further ado, here's Nicole in conversation with yours truly, Volchek. And this is About Me.
Me and my partner worked at an IT company, and I was there for 14 years. And she saw this magazine in the doctor's office about these two women who started this company back in Snohomish, Washington. We watched them, and about a year and a half later, we saw they were franchising, so we jumped on it. And we opened our store in 2005. And I loved it because it was smart and simple, and people needed it. And my partner, Sally Grant, she is a foodie, so she thought it was kind of a cool thing. But as we got into the business, we realized it's not so much about food, it's about giving time back to families so they can get around the dinner table. And that's really what our mission is.
Right.
Because we've lost that over time. I know that when I grew up, I was expected to sit as a family, you know, with my parents, and we discussed the day and what's going on and what went well, what didn't go so well, and, you know, try to get some advice at that point. And now, you know, it's not the same.
Right.
People are eating on the go. They're at fast food restaurants. They're sitting in front of the television.
Yeah.
Because they want something quick and convenient. And moms are busy. And actually, it's been proven we give at least 20 hours a month back in free time.
Wow.
And about $300 savings on the grocery bill.
Wow.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about that aspect, right? So the grocery bill. So from what I understand, people, if we go full extreme here, if people become super loyal to this program, they don't even need to go shopping anymore.
No, they just need to get the milk, the bread, the produce, but we take care of their dinner. Yes, and the sides and everything. And it's on the table in less than 30 minutes. And that's cook time. That's not all that prep work. And yes, I can limit their number of trips to the grocery store very easily.
So now they come in here.
Yes.
And they tell me a little bit about the process.
Because
you said
yes.
There's no the prep time has been eliminated in the kitchen.
Yes.
It's just warming up the food however they want it. And
right. So the process is this: they would go and order enough meals for a month. So they're ordering entrees either on the website or through us here, and then they book an appointment time to come in, and we know they're coming, and we have everything sliced, diced, chopped, prepped, the whole nine. So when they come in, they're going to our stations that are back here, and they'll find all of the ingredients for the meals, and they assemble it. We give them the recipes, and they assemble it in freezer bags and pans. So then in about an hour later, they're going to take those freezer bags and pans home, stockpile their freezer. So say on a Sunday, they'll figure out what do we want to have for the week, and they'll take those meals out and put them in the refrigerator to defrost. So when they come home from work or they're ready to make their meals, it's not starting from scratch. There is everything there. It's ready to be cooked. So they're literally having a home-cooked meal that they didn't have to grocery shop for. They didn't have to think about prep or anything. And there's very little cleanup because they're making the mess here, not at home.
I love that. Less cleanup, the better.
Yes.
So they're saving time on maybe even like paper towels, right? Well, not the time. They wouldn't be saving time on paper towels. They'd be saving
time buying them, I guess.
And trees. They'd be saving trees.
Absolutely. So I also tell people, they're like, oh, I don't have a big freezer. But these were designed to fit into a side-by-side. So when people say, I don't have the room, I say, throw out that old bag of peas that you know you're not going to eat, right?
Yeah.
To make that room. And actually, they're not all going in the freezer because some are going in the refrigerator. And at one point, we had a ton of competitors. There's like over 2,000 plus establishments across the country like us, trying to jump on that bandwagon. And then by 2008, 2009, the bubble burst. They all fell away, and we were the ones left standing.
Why is that?
Why?
Do you think?
There was a lot of independence, and because they're not a franchise, they don't have the buying power that we do for the food, and really, it's about cost. Right. And so the franchise does all, they develop the recipes. They have the contracts with the big vendors so we can get the savings there so we can pass the savings on to our guests.
So they have economy of scale in a sense. And
they have the scale,
That's
exactly.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we've had a lot of growing pains, but we're here 12 years later still banging away.
This location?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
12 years later, huh? So you were in this area in Florida.
Pioneers.
Perhaps you are the pioneers
Yes.
in this market. When we initially met, you did mention something along the lines of Blue Apron and other online entities that kind of mimic what this does.
Right.
So tell me a little bit more about that.
The Blue Aprons, the HelloFreshes, those types of those types of businesses that you're paying more for them, and they're just giving you, they're telling you, they're allowing you to choose what's for dinner for the week based on a limited menu, and then they're sending it to you, and you're actually doing all of that prep. So it's a lot of packaging, it's a lot of waste. There's a lot of materials that they have to show you how to do the work. So they're beautiful color printouts, but again, it's waste to that.
And then they have to ship it to you. So
they ship it to you.
There's your emissions if you're trying to be green and all that, right?
Right. And because it's a big process, right? They can't turn on a dime and switch out their menu like we can. We have 17 different options every month. They're different. So you're getting variety as well.
Oh, nice. So you also curate different tastes.
Yes. The folks who come in here are like our family. And I think I told you that we have folks that have been here over 100 times. Mm-hmm. And one family that's been here since December 2005. And they faithfully come every month. And we know about them. We know their children. We know how they did at the baseball game. We know what their family vacations are like. So that's something that was rewarding for me. I initially thought, this is a smart idea. But what I got out of it is the interaction with folks and to really see the difference that we're making in their lives and really getting to know them. So that's really cool for me because I feed off of that. I get energy when I come and the sessions are fun and people are having a good time and they keep coming back. So
do they come here to this family in particular? They prep for an entire month or
yes,
like okay,
yes.
Wow.
So everybody comes in to prep for an entire month.
Wow, this must really alleviate so much unnecessary thinking process throughout the month. I mean, think about it. Steve Jobs, right? He wore the same thing on stage, and he said, "Hey, making that decision in the morning, what I'm going to wear, takes a lot of brain
effort,
power and effort. We may not realize it, but what to wear is a huge consumption of your attention and brain
Absolutely.
Calories or
he had bigger and better things to think about.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
And if food can be something similar to that, but without sacrificing the taste and quality, right? I think that's a brilliant idea.
The number one question that everyone either asks or gets asked is, "What's for dinner tonight?"
Yes.
So we got that covered. I can tell you what's for dinner next month because you've already chosen what those dinners are.
Right, you already chopped it up. And put some your own love and energy into chopping it up, not some machine that's like in the frozen dinner, right?
Yes, and moms can feel really, really good about what they're feeding their kids. They were part of the process.
Yeah.
So and that's taken a lot of stress and worry from them. And the other thing is price. The average person spends I don't know how much at the grocery store, hundreds of dollars, and then they come home with things that still are in pieces, and they don't know what to do with them once they get them home. But with us, you're spending less than $6 a serving on average, and it's restaurant quality food. So it's really, again, something the moms can be really proud that they're serving their families or whomever's making dinner for whoever's at home, right?
Yeah.
So it's very, very affordable. We had one session where I had a couple from Ellington, which is on the west coast of the state. It's 3 hours away.
Florida.
I had a couple from Orlando. and I had a couple from West Palm Beach area. So I thought I did a fun thing. I tallied all their miles that they drove, round trip, and how many hours they spent to come do their meals here one Saturday afternoon. And they spent over 1,000 miles that they drove combined, all three couples, and over 16 hours to come do their dinners here.
And this is one time, or this is regularly?
Well, this was just one time, but the couple that comes from Orlando and Ellington, they come quite often.
Wow.
They come quite often because they see the value of it.
Right.
So they come, they stock up, because I bet you're spending more than, the time it takes them to go back and forth worrying about all this food. And we're it in town. We are the closest one to all of them. So
see, this is very interesting. It's very peculiar to me, right? So we have evidence of people that are willing to drive 4 hours back and forth to do this, and they see the value in it, but we have people within a mile radius that don't even know about this.
Right.
What do you think the future of the food industry is? Tell me. Tell me more. Let's look at the future prospects for.
Well, because as generations flourish, right, and I'm of the X generation, and I got a few after me now. Millennial moms are not being taught how to cook.
They're
not being taught how to cook. And there's also this need for instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're wanting to do more than their parents did for them as far as nurturing and raising their kids, and getting them back to the dinner table is what's key, is what's important. So I think you're going to see more type of businesses like what we do, because that is key. They want to help. There's a need for it.
Right.
There's a need for it.
Is that social link that makes families, right?
Yes.
I think the society has figured out a way to compartmentalize your time so that it's just like how big businesses are, right? They're going to compete on strength. They're going to pay attention a lot to what they do good, and outsource things that they don't do good elsewhere. So I feel like that's kind of what has happened here in the personal life, where you go to work for 8 hours, right? That's your strength, and then you go and you can't. I mean, within those 8 hours, you can't raise stock, or you can't raise a farm or anything. So now you have to go and shop for food, for example, and then that leaves a little time for family. But your business allows to quantum leap that whole process of shopping, and now I
like that quantum leap.
Yeah, you just sit down with family because you already cooked everything up, and you get some of that time back that you can actually construct your family time. That's really powerful. I think. Yeah.
We know that a month's worth of meals may seem a little daunting at first if you don't know what we're about, but we do offer an introductory special, and you can get 6 meals of 3 servings each, family-size servings, for $84.95.
Wow.
Yes. And these are family-size servings. So it's giving you variety. It's giving you a good idea about what we're about. It's roughly, we say, about 2 weeks worth of meals.